Thank you so much for joining us today at Everyday Yoga. My name is Christine. My pronouns are she and her, and this is going to be a nice, cooling, restorative yoga practice. It's been really hot outside where I live in Oregon, so maybe it is hot where you are too. If you have yoga blocks, I would suggest that you stack a couple, one on top of the other. And I like to find hero's pose in an elevated kind of kneeling, hips to my heels seat. If you do not have yoga blocks, find yourself a comfortable seat, whether it's seated in a chair or on your bed or on a pillow or a bolster or a rolled up blanket. Whatever feels comfortable, something where you're going to feel like you're going to be comfortable for a few minutes. We're going to get started by getting present, and then we're going to do a pranayama practice, a breathing practice called Sitali, which is a very cooling practice for when you're feeling overheated and you just need to take it down a degree or two. So first, coming into the present moment, maybe close your eyes, maybe take a soft gaze out in front of you, and just take a nice big inhale in through the nose. And as you exhale, release it with a big sigh out the nose or mouth. Just maybe do that a couple more times. And already you might notice you've sent a message to your nervous system that you are feeling a little calmer, a little softer, a little more relaxed. And then notice your connection of your legs or your feet to the floor underneath you. Notice your connection of your sit bones to the surface that you're seated on, your hands to your chair or your thighs or knees, wherever they might be, wherever is comfortable in your body. And as you notice these points of connection grounded underneath you, maybe lift the crown of your head, the tips of your ears, the back of the skull, and the heart up towards the sky. And then just to tuck it all in, draw the shoulder blades down the back and tuck the chin. Breathing here and feeling like you could just continue to grow a little bit longer in the spine. And if you like, you might turn your palms up towards the sky. Maybe letting go of something, maybe offering something, maybe ready to receive something new. And maybe you might bring the intention not only to cool the body tonight, but to also fill your cup or fill your spoon or fill your account, whatever you like to call those batteries that you can recharge to bring your energy up, to make you feel restored and relaxed and replenished. And so the word selfish kind of has a negative connotation in our culture, but I invite you to invite yourself to be selfish, not in that negative way that we kind of think of it, but in a way that says, I need to put my mask on first. I am going to nurture myself first, and I am worth nurturing. You all bring a lot to this world. And even if that is simply one kind word to one person in your whole life, that is enough. So replenish yourself, refill your cup, get a whole bunch of spoons in your drawer. And let's find just a few more minutes here in this seat. And you might turn your palms down for a more grounded experience, or you might keep them uplifted. And we're going to do this Sitali breath. And so the Sitali breath is kind of like you're sipping air through a straw, right through your mouth, and exhaling with the lips closed, exhaling out the nose. The trick here is that the best way, the most effective way to do this is to do it with that curled tongue. And I hope you know what I'm talking about. I would show you, but I am one of those people that cannot do the curled tongue. My son can do it. My mother can do it. I think my daughter can do it. I cannot do it. If you are like me and you cannot do it, all you will do is take your lips like you're going to suck on a straw and just poke the tip of your tongue out. If you can do the little kind of taco shaped tongue thing, that's what you'll stick out as if you're sipping a straw. So I will demonstrate. Eyes open or closed. You'll purse your lips, stick out the tongue, just the tip. Close the lips. And exhale out the nose. Once again. And if you can do the little curled taco tongue, that's what it looks like to me, a little taco shell. Do that. If not, just the tip of the tongue, and go ahead and find your own rhythm. You might inhale for a couple seconds, a couple beats. I'm just admitting another person to the class here. Pardon me. Thank you, folks. So again, you're sipping the air through your pursed lips as if sipping through a straw. If you can do the rolled tongue, have that kind of poking out between your pursed lips. If not, just the tip of the tongue. Inhale, sipping. Close the lips and exhale through the nose. And we'll do that for 10 more rounds. Continue in your own timing, eyes open or closed, palms up or down in your comfortable seat. And imagine, you might already feel the temperature of the air coming in as cooler. And you might even imagine the pathway up into your nasal passages, that cooling air coming up to circulate inside your skull, cooling everything down. And then continue on your own, few more breaths here. And when you have completed to your satisfaction, just let the practice go and come back to your regular, easy, balanced breath. And just notice any change you might feel, any sensation. You might even feel like your skin is a little cooler. You might feel like your internal temperature is a little cooler. You might not feel much change, if any. Just let it be whatever it is. And then we're going to come off your seat, whether you're sitting to support. If you've got yoga blocks, keep them handy. You never know when they might come in handy. And we're just going to come to hands and knees into tabletop and just tap out your feet. you don't have downstairs neighbors. And then I invite you, if you have any wrist issues, you could come down to the forearms here and keep your weight out of your wrists. If that doesn't bother you too much, still press strongly into all 10 fingers. And let's just find a few gentle cat-cows here. Just inhale, drawing the heart forward, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, belly button to the spine, tailbone comes down, crown of the head towards the earth. Inhale, once again, cow pose, maybe tucking those toes under and bending the elbows. Exhale, tops of the feet to the mat, rounding back, belly button to the spine, pressing into the thumb and the index finger. And just continue moving once again at your own pace, moving with your breath. And if there are any other movements you're practicing at home with your camera off, you might choose to roll your spine around and around like a barrel, like a jump rope. If you do that, reverse your circles. You might continue to stay in the cat-cow dynamic. Or you might inhale the heart forward and exhale, round back through the left side body, back to child's pose. And then inhale up through the right side body, back to cow. Making big circles here, sweeping the hips back and around. Pressing that hip towards the heel and all the way through center, and then up towards the front of the mat. Next time you press back into child's pose, reverse those circles if you're practicing them here. And just, this is kind of a tantric style of yoga here, and tantra yoga can have kind of a sexual connotation, but it is very sensual. It's not necessarily sexual. And so if you just want to get into the sensuality of it, next time you press all the way back to child's pose, go ahead and stay there, curl the toes under, pop those fingertips up onto the mat like little tents, and just sink the heart down towards the earth. You can bring that forehead all the way down to the mat if that feels good, or you might keep the heart lifted and just open up through the elbows a little bit and notice how much space that creates across the armpits, across the chest. Breathe here deeply and notice the expansion of your ribs from side to side, creating more space for your heart to function. One more inhale here, and we'll untuck the toes, press all the way back to hero's pose, sitting on your heels, and then swing your legs out to one side or the other, or cross them and roll up and over, and we'll come to sit in Dandasana, staff pose. And I always like to use this Sanskrit term, and I was told that's how I'm supposed to pronounce it, not Sanskrit like would be doing my whole life, but Sanskrit. So Dandasana, but I like to do that because if you ever find yourself traveling and you want to practice yoga and you don't understand the local language, at least you'll know what they're saying when they use the Sanskrit. So I think it's fun. You never know where you might end up. So let's find that Dandasana pose here. And maybe walk the hands out to either side. Find your Tadasana back, heart lifted, chin tucked, crown of the head towards the sky. Shoulder blades and elbows drawing down towards the earth. Flexing through the heels, your knees might be bent. Maybe you might want to have a rolled blanket or towel up underneath the knees. And the toes pointed up towards the sky. Let's inhale and lift those arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, hinge forward at the hips, reaching the heart forward. Inhale, lengthening through the spine once again, and exhale, release the hands to either sides of your shins or knees. Inhale here once again, and you might like to stay tall and extended here, or it might feel nice to just round through the back and let the feet soften, let the head come down. You might even want to turn the palms up to the sky so you resist the urge to pull yourself any deeper. One more breath wherever you've chosen to be, and then we'll inhale and roll up one slow vertebra at a time. And exhale to find your tall spine once again. Let's bend that right knee and just slide the heel up towards the body, keeping this nice straight spine here. Bending the knee only in as far as you can keep that straight back. If you have to start rounding to get it any closer, you've gone too far. So right wherever you are with that tall straight back, stay right here, and we're gonna draw that right knee out towards the side, pick up the foot and place it wherever it lands on top of the left leg. Mine lands on my shin, pretty darn close to my ankle. If yours also landed below the knee, use your hands and bring it all the way up to the top of the thigh above the knee. We're just gonna find length right here through the spine once again. Inhale, the arms up alongside the ears. Exhale, hinging up and over. Getting a nice stretch in that right hip. One more inhale and then exhale, releasing the hands down towards the earth. Maybe staying right here. If you've got issues with the knees, keep the feet flexed. That'll keep your tendons and ligaments all engaged and supportive around the knees. If this is all right with your knees, you can let the feet soften here and maybe come a little bit closer. You might like to stay uplifted like this. You might like to bring a block underneath the forehead. I was going to use the high position here, but maybe to rest on your shin or your calf and find a restorative posture here. You could also use a bolster or a rolled up blanket for support. Or if you would like to get a little bit more of a stretch, you could extend that right leg all the way out so you're more crossing the ankles here, or maybe kind of mid-shin. Inhale, lengthen that spine once again, and exhale to creepy crawl the hands a little farther forward. You might like to stay here in this uplifted posture, or you might like to take that right hand to your shin or your ankle or your foot, or maybe yogi toe lock that big toe. Draw the elbow down to the shin and then cross the left hand over and hold on to the ankle or the foot or the toe. And you might need to adjust where the legs are crossed so that you can reach both legs comfortably. But you could stay right here and just draw those arms towards you, drawing the shoulders back, tucking the chin, getting a nice stretch in the back of the legs. You could stay here, or you might like to find some softness here, letting the head round forward, letting the back round. Resting your forehead either to your biceps, or maybe drawing the elbows apart and resting your forehead to your right knee. Wherever you choose to be, we're going to find 5 full breaths right here. Just letting the fascia release. The fascia being that membrane in between the skin and the fat and the muscle, kind of like that membrane when you're skinning a piece of chicken. And we have one of those too, and it gets all bunched up and restricts our range of motion. And so you might notice a little bit of a release. You might even notice a sensation of itchiness or discomfort. As long as you do not feel any pain here, try to just relax into the sensation. Just letting go, getting softer, relaxing a little more. And as you're ready, we'll unwind, lift the heart up high, find your tall spine again, maybe shake out your legs. And then we'll bring those fingertips out for support on either side. Bend that left knee and draw the left heel alongside the right leg. Again, only as far as you can go without starting to round here. I keep thinking mine's going to be farther. And then turn that left knee out and bring the left ankle to rest on the top of the right leg. If it didn't make it past the knee, use your hands to assist. Find your tall spine. Inhale the arms alongside the ears. Exhale, hinging forward, lifting your rib cage away from your pelvis and hinging forward over that leg package you've got going here. One more inhale for more length. Exhale to release the hands. This might feel good right here. You may want to stay here and allow that fascia to begin to release. May want to round the head towards the top leg and find a soft back here. You might want to put that block here and find a restorative version, or you might want to extend both legs out, the left leg crossed over the right, cross the left hand to the ankle or the foot or the toe, then cross the right hand to the right one and find your length. And then begin your journey to your depth without rushing it, letting the body just gradually get used to all the subtle changes as you let yourself gradually and softly come as far and as deep as you like, finding your edge and not going beyond it. Letting this restorative practice restore you, allowing yourself to take care of your body. Few more breaths here, always knowing you can come out to any posture that serves you at any time. Inhale, noticing the expansion of the ribs, noticing the sensations in the low back, the mid back, the upper back, the neck, the arms, all along your legs. Just notice what you notice. Whenever you're ready, inhale and begin to press yourself up to a tall seat. Unwind your legs and we'll just shake them back and forth a bit. And then any way that works for you, we're going to come down to lay on our backs. Go ahead and find that position here. Or if you want to challenge your core a little bit, you can sit up nice and straight here and extend your arms out, palms facing up, like somebody's handing you a nice hot fresh pizza. And then just roll one vertebra at a time, using that core to lower yourself, feeling your power here, but then also feeling that slow, delicious massage across every vertebra as you lower down. And when you reach the bottom, inhale and stretch everything out nice and long. Get those fingertips as far away from the toes as you can possibly get them here. And then we'll go ahead and find our soles of our feet on the mat, knees pointed up towards the sky. Just maybe press into your feet enough to lift your hips from the earth so that you can really settle the small of the back down. And maybe take your feet as wide as the mat and send your arms out wide into a T. And we'll just windshield wiper the knees gently from side to side. Letting your knees come back to the center as you inhale. Letting your body exhale as they go to each side. Maybe adding on the gaze, going to the right side as the knees go to the left side. Inhale, knees and gaze center. Exhale, knees right, gaze left. And just let it be really slow and notice the sensations across the low back. Noticing again the little subtleties, and maybe the knees come all the way down to the earth, maybe they don't. Next time you inhale, knees and gaze to the sky. When you feel like you've had enough, we'll hug in one knee and then the other. And we'll just give the rocking motion from side to side with the knees closer now to the body and noticing where that massage is happening across the back. A little bit higher, maybe up into your mid-back. You might want to slow it down. And just maybe stop and enjoy any tender places along the way that want a little extra attention. And once you've kind of settled in the center, maybe invite your nose towards your knees, realigning your hips and your spine and your neck. And then we'll go ahead and come back with the shoulders down to the earth, the skull down to the earth. And let's just bring both soles of the feet down as well. And just take the heels of your hands and press into the tops of the thighs. And just notice maybe a gentle release in the back of the body. Bring those feet a little bit closer. Open up your arms. Inhale and bring that left knee in towards the heart. And again, without using your hands, let's turn the left knee out and just bring the ankle to the top of the right thigh. You might want to keep the arms nice and wide here and just rock that knee back and forth, opening up the hip, opening up through the groin. You might want to take that left hand and press into the tops of the thighs, getting a little massage here. And if it feels nice, you might want to hug that right knee in, threading the needle, little figure four stretch, just like we did when we were sitting in our Dandasana. Only this time you might interlace your fingers behind your right thigh and hug those knees in towards the heart. Just notice what you notice here.
You might really strongly draw those legs in towards your heart, getting as deep as you can here. Or you might just see how soft can you get. Keeping those feet flexed to keep your knees protected. But if that doesn't seem necessary for you, just let your feet be soft and just kind of be here. One more inhale wherever you are. And then we'll simply release the legs, bring the soles of both feet back down to the mat. And then we'll open up the arms and hug that right knee in towards the heart. And then send the knee out towards the right, bringing the ankle to the top of the left thigh. Maybe rock that knee back and forth, opening up through the hip. Letting it be soft and fun and playful. Finding stability here. You might find that gentle massage in the top of the thigh. Using the heel of your hand to open up just a little bit more. We tend to hold lots of stress in our thighs because we are contracted there throughout the day in this kind of defensive position. A lot of time we're always doing stuff. If you'd like to go a little deeper, inhale and lift that left leg up. You might reach around the back of the thigh and then place the shoulders and the head back down. And as you interlace your fingers here, find a different clasp. So if you typically default to your right index finger on top, bring your left one on top. Not only are we just physically balancing things out when we switch from the dominant to the non-dominant, but we also create new and stronger neural pathways in our brains when we change things up, when we deliberately change our habits. So even doing that in small ways on the mat can spill over into your life in bigger ways. So again, find that really dynamic drawing inward using the strength of your arms with those feet flexed, or you might want to release and soften and let go. Couple more breaths right here. Maybe take another big cleansing breath here, inhaling through the nose and letting go out the mouth. And then we'll go ahead and release the legs, hug the knees in once again to realign everything, maybe bringing the nose to the knees, and then let the shoulders and the head settle back down. And we'll cup the knees in the palms. And as you inhale, just straighten the elbows and let the knees come away from the heart. And as you exhale, bend the elbows and draw them in. Inhale, straightening and pressing away. Exhale, bending and drawing inward. And just notice how this feels across your back. We already did side to side. Now we're doing up and down. And you might want to begin to make some circles on the ceiling, just like we did earlier in our cat-cow. Just imagine you've got a pencil that you're holding between your knees and you could draw with the tip of your pencil on the ceiling. And of course, always finding balance. When you're ready, switch directions of your circles. And again, notice how this feels across the low back. Let it be the massage it is. When you've had enough of that, we'll find our final Shavasana. Either inhale and stretch out long and then settle into your Shavasana with the arms open wide, palms shining upward, toes relaxed and pointed out to the sides of your mat, chin tucked, full Shavasana, everything open, all the lymph, no creases, nothing being crimped, just completely restful. If this does not feel good on your low back, all stretched out like that, you could find a rolled up blanket or bolster for underneath your knees. You could take your blocks if you have them and rest your calves to them so the legs are just a little bit elevated here. Or you might take that rolled up blanket or that yoga block, press into the feet, lift the hips, and find a supported bridge pose. Bringing the sacrum to rest on your block, letting the feet come wider than hip width and the knees fall in towards each other. Palms to your belly or your rib cage or opened out into your Shavasana arms. Lots of options, lots of variations, lots of ways to be comfortable and restful. And let's come back to that idea of refilling our cup, putting all the spoons in the drawer, recharging our batteries. And as I said, it's been really hot here where I am, and I imagine no matter what it is now for you, you have experienced that kind of heat as well. So if it feels good to you to use your imagination here, just imagine that you're laying right underneath the sun. So we started with a cooling breathing practice, but now imagine that you are recharged by solar batteries and that you are here laying underneath the sun. If you have a hard time visualizing that, just let the practice go and continue to relax your body here. But if you want to continue with that visualization, maybe imagine every single cell in your body is a solar powered cell. And as you lay here under this imaginary sun that cannot give you a burn or skin cancer or any of those things, but can only recharge your batteries, just let yourself soak that in. You might imagine the gentle warmth. You might imagine that warm gold color or yellow color, or maybe even a bright white color. And as you inhale, just imagine that you're drawing in all of that energy from the sun, recharging your internal batteries cell by cell. And as you exhale, let that all come within you and settle within your cells. So we're not inhaling and exhaling the energy, but we're inhaling it and letting it be stored in our cells as we exhale. Inhale, drawing in that sunlight, that solar energy. Exhale, storing it within, filling up your batteries, recharging. And we'll just stay here for a few more breaths, finding some silent stillness together as we recharge our batteries, gradually letting your body soften and imagining that warm, life-giving energy, letting yourself soak it all up. Maybe begin to let your breath begin to deepen a little more. If you're on a supportive block or bolster, lift yourself off or roll yourself off and move it to the side. And then we'll inhale, raising those arms and legs. Well, raising the arms overhead, sending the legs out nice and long, wiggling toes and fingers, circling ankles and wrists. Just getting long through the whole right side body and then getting long through the whole left side body. And then bring the knees to point back up to the sky as you keep your hands overhead. We'll just windshield wiper those knees once again from side to side. And whenever they get to your favorite side, roll there, letting your head rest on that bottom arm. Using your top arm as a little kickstand, or maybe wrapping around your top leg. And just give yourself a little bit of appreciation here. Your body has served you well. Thank you, body. Thank you, breath. Giving yourself the reverence and respect that you deserve. And then we'll push up to a nice tall seat. Find a comfortable seat of your choice. I always like to finish in Dandasana with legs extended in this nice balanced posture. Find your Tadasana back, tuck that chin, lift that heart. Let yourself radiate all of the energy you just created. And as you inhale and lift your arms up alongside the body, reaching up overhead, gather every last little bit of it in, bringing your palms together and bringing all of that positive energy right down here to your heart. May you have peace in your thoughts, peace in your words, and peace in your hearts. Namaste.